Welcome to Conversation with Zaki Baruti, with your host, Zaki Baruti. And like always, I want to give a shout out to my biological family, what's happening. To the Universal African Peoples Organization family, what's going on. And to New Life Evangelistic family, keep up the great work. Salute to Reverend Rice, as well as to our amazing cameraman, Bob. On that note, we'll have another great show because we're going to be doing part 2 with a colleague of ours who is the president of the local chapter of the NAACP, and I'm speaking none other than Adolphus Pruitt II.
Yes.
Okay, welcome, Adolphus.
Yeah.
Okay, then. First of all, Adolphus, and this is doing part 2, for our audience, can you just give a little background history of yourself so folks to know who Adolphus Pruitt is? Wherever you want folks to know about Adolphus Pruitt, please share.
No, yeah, whatever.
That you want them to know.
That I want them to know.
Not the part you don't
want them to know. Okay, well, that's all of it. But no, I was born here in St. Louis, attended St. Louis Public School, graduated from the public school, the first class of the Visual Performing Arts High School. Had a band when I was in high school and played around the city, left here and went to Tuskegee.
Oh, you played in the band?
Yeah, man, yeah. I had a band
what kind of
for a while.
instrument?
I played the trumpet.
Oh, I heard that.
And played in the jazz band.
Kind of like Miles Davis, Miles was a trumpet player, right?
Miles was a trumpet player.
Okay.
No, I wasn't quite the Miles Davis. Not a Winston Marsalis.
Okay.
But left here and went to Tuskegee and tried to play some ball there, so you couldn't play in the band and be on the field at the same time. But he eventually came back.
What kind of ball did you try to play?
Played a little basketball and football.
Oh, okay. Could you play?
I could get on the field. I got
what
on the
position
field.
for football?
Back then they called it flanker.
Oh, flanker. Yeah.
Back then.
That was flanker was defense.
Defensive
end. Yeah. Could you
back.
shoot? I could shoot a little bit.
Shoot a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
well, we gotta get out on the do some hoops.
No, we ain't getting out. No. I haven't tried any of that in a while. I still got both my trumpets, believe it or not, a trumpet and a fluhorn. Sit over there in the corner. Right. Every time I go home, I look at it. But that's all I want to do is look at it. That's the only thing will happen. It's a piece of furniture now.
Right. So you graduated from Tuskegee?
Yeah, no. I came back here and actually graduated from Missouri Baptist.
Okay.
My son was born and came here and took custody of my son and went to work and school and man, thank God come from a big family in Nashville. My mother, my father, brother, sister. When you talking about the village, I said I took custody, but the village did.
You made me laugh because I'm the oldest of 10.
Oh, come on, Nick, you understand?
Hey, I understand well back in the day. Yeah. And when I became conscious of mama being pregnant, I was saying, damn, another crumb snatch. It was a hard time.
Yeah, listen, boy. Yeah, but now I did that, man, and started doing real estate development. I consult and still do it now, and then 18 years ago, somebody asked me to join the NAACP. I told them that the NAACP was irrelevant. They looked at me and said, it is because we can't get people like you to join.
I heard that.
And I said, oh. Mm-hmm. And I joined, and I've been involved for the past 18 years, and I've done a lot of things.
So how long have you been president of the chapter, local chapter?
16 and 18 years.
16?
Yeah.
Now, as the president of the local chapter, what would be one or two of what you would consider major accomplishments under your administration?
You know, one of the major ones is one we took on first, and me and Yafe with MOCAN. And that was the Missouri Housing Development Commission is the primary entity that provides tax credits that create all this affordable housing. And there were not many black developers taking advantage of it, and there wasn't any black contractors or professional service providers, architects and stuff, eating at the troughs from those deals. And we went, and Jay Nixon was a governor, and it wouldn't happen without his help, but we got with the governor and the director of MHDC, and we fought and got them to put in the emerging business model within there. And from that point on, they started meeting the goals, and they've been meeting them ever since. And so when you look out there and see tax credit deals that are building apartments, low-income housing, affordable apartments and stuff. I guarantee you're going to see some black professional service provider in there, contractors in there, and in some cases the developer itself be in there. And so that's one of the ones, and it's been going for the past, 15 years. So I love it. And then the other one would be more than anything else was, again, in that same realm locally, in order for municipal governments to make sure that minority participation and stuff occurs with public spending, they have to have disparity studies. And we fought, and we have everybody do a disparity study. St. Louis Community College, St. Louis County, St. Louis City, MSD, and all of them. And you know yourself, out of the MSD, they spend $2-3 billion. And we work together with you guys and everybody else, and we got a community benefits agreement. And out of that $1 billion, 20 and 30% of that stuff is going in the hands and the pockets of African Americans. So it's those things which are still in place now. And Zaki, we did that was 10 years ago.
Right, time be rolling.
Yeah, but they still in place now, and black folks are still benefiting from it. So those things in which we can make sure that government, we level the playing field for when it comes to public spending. The reason I talk about them the most is because that's the one where all of us who are taxpayers, all our dollars are going in, and some of our dollars should come back to people that look like me and you.
Absolutely. But at this time, with the current administration at the state level, do you feel or sense that that's happening? But
No.
You could speak to that on the other side of the break.
May God bless all you faithful listeners and viewers of the Zaki Baruti Show as you reach out and help those in need. Right now at the New Life Evangelistic Center, not only do we have to feed hundreds of people every day that are sleeping outside, but many that are coming to our facilities, for example, in Springfield, Missouri, and those that are getting help through our safe houses and outreach centers at the New Life Evangelistic Center throughout the greater St. Louis area. They all have to be fed, and they don't get their food stamps, they don't get direct assistance. We have to just continue to reach deeper and cry out further unto the Almighty God to work through caring people like you. So I'm asking you to please let God's light and love flow through you at this time. Bring your food to 2428 Woodson Road in Overland, Missouri, 806 North Jefferson and Springfield. Please send your tax-deductible gifts now to New Life Evangelistic Center, P.O. Box 473, St. Louis, Missouri, that's 63166. And when you send your gift in, ask for a free copy of the new Zoa free paper. All kinds of testimonials are in here, all kinds of inspirational articles. Again, please pray for New Life Evangelistic Center. Please send your much-needed tax-deductible gifts so we can feed the hungry and help the homeless to New Life Evangelistic Center, P.O. Box 473, St. Louis, Missouri, that's 63166. And when you do, ask for a copy of the New Life Zoa free paper. Your faith will be stirred, and you will have an opportunity to help so many right now that don't know what to do or where to go. We're encouraging them to trust in the Lord with all their heart. He'll never leave nor forsake them. And we're also directly trying to help them in their time of need. Please continue to pray for New Life Evangelistic Center. Please continue to share at this time and know that your gift goes a long way as you pray, care, and share with the center that's on the front lines.
When we contemplate the grace and the love that we see in Jesus Christ and His sacrifice on the cross, we naturally want to generously give to others. Now, we think of tithing as a tax and we miss the whole point. We should generously give because we so graciously and generously receive from the love and the power of God to set ourselves free from sin. Remember, Christian, it is so important to generously give as a witness of the gospel that you yourself have received in your own life. It is important to give to churches, not just money, but your time and your resources as well, recognizing what you yourself have received, because all things, all good things that we have come from our Father above. Give generously and joyfully.
Welcome back to Conversation with Zaki Baruti. In studio with me is Adolphus Pruitt, the second president of the St. Louis chapter of NAACP. On the other side of the break, we were speaking about basically corporations, and we use the example of MSD that made a commitment through the Communities Benefits Agreement to, pour dollars back into our community. But I was asking you just before the break about state government, especially with what you have right now at the head of Missouri state government, Parsons. It is Parsons.
Keogh.
I mean, yeah, Keogh. I went back, okay?
And him too.
Yeah. Do you see that happening in terms of the government being fair in this distribution of dollars back to our community?
Yeah, let's be clear. Based on what's going on at the federal level and the federal attitude and attitude period about inclusion and equity and stuff, at the federal level, it is not happening to the degree that it used to, but it hasn't all been wiped out. But they're working on it. They're chipping away at it.
Right.
As relates to the states, because you got to understand, in most cases, the federal government sends the money to the state. And then it's the state. So when you're talking about your highways, bridges, and stuff like that, those are your state transportation departments. Yes, they have eliminated the need or from the bidding that you require to have so much participation and stuff. Some of the contractors are still doing their parts, but in the vast majority is gone. And our governor, I think from day one of the first executive orders he signed was to say, hey, we eliminating all of that. But at the local level, and people say politics is local, but at the local level, things are still in place. Things are still happening the way they need to happen as relates to public dollars at the local level being spent.
You mean within like the city?
The city of St. Louis County,
Right.
City government, MSD is a local entity. Those government agencies, they still are doing what it is they're supposed to be doing. At the state and federal level, then we're talking something different.
Yeah, and we could see it clearly on a lot of the construction on the highways that's ran by the state, almost all white crews.
Absolutely,
and what have you,
and that funds and the state funding. Remember, is the gas tax, which is a federal tax that comes down in the states, and they use that money to match it up with whatever the state has in order to do these things. So they have to adhere to federal guidelines.
Okay. Now, changing subjects altogether, you just most recently last month visited Africa.
Yes.
In particular, Kenya.
Yes.
Which always touches my heart, in terms of international travel.
Yes.
First and foremost, had you been to Africa before then?
Yeah, man, 20, 40 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, but this
what
was my
country?
first time back. Nigeria.
Nigeria.
Yeah.
How long were you in Nigeria?
A week or so.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And you were in Kenya for what purpose?
Nairobi was the home base. So
Nairobi being the capital of
Kenya.
Okay.
So in Nairobi, they had what they call the largest AI summit. Some would say in the world, some would say in Africa, East Africa, but they had this AI summit.
Now, what is AI? I'm sorry, I just wanted to break it down.
I got you. Artificial intelligence.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, whenever you use your phone, whenever you go online, in most cases, almost anything you do, when you stream your TV, it's somewhere involved, there's some artificial intelligence. Technology is here, and it's here to stay. And so I wanted to go over there and see what was happening around the world, and the world converged on Nairobi for the AI summit that was there, and had a chance to.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but how many countries or representatives were in attendance?
Oh my God! There were representatives from about every nation I can think of, from Northern Europe to the Far East to.
Were the representatives governmental representatives or non-governmental representatives? Both of them.
Both.
Okay.
They're both. Because let's be clear, it's almost like going to the mall.
Okay.
Everybody that utilize technology and has something that involves technology for sale, they had a booth.
Oh, okay.
They had a booth because they selling their wares. And then when you go to the conference where the part where you sit and they have speakers on panels and stuff, then now you got people from everywhere.
Okay.
And so, but what we found out was this. So Kenya is a very progressive country. It is probably more progressive black Africa than any place in Africa. In some cases, any place in the world. We were just talking about Chat GPT, which is an AI tool that is utilized, and Chat was was first out here, and probably one of the most widest used. Well, in Kenya, Chat GPT, Kenya uses Chat more than anybody else in the world. That means the country of Kenya is the largest user of that AI instrument than any place in the world. And you gotta understand, Kenya, compared to population-wise, compared to the United States, India, China, some of these other countries, they're small. It's small, but they were the largest users. And so we went to see that firsthand, and there are some black Kenyans had this place they call Hack House, Hack House, Nairobi. And in this Hack House, these young folks come and get together. They get there sometime at 6 o'clock in the evening. They can stay till 6 in the morning. And in this Hack House, they all work together and work in conjunction where they're learning how to use the technology to grow businesses, to solve problems, and then to take around, and we call it monetize it, take it and turn it into something that they can sell or lease out and make money from. And to go there and see young black people solving problems with technology, you know, the one thing they did was the women of color who are pregnant, there's this high propensity of them dying as a result of that pregnancy before the child is even born.
In Kenya or here?
In Kenya, but in Missouri and in the St. Louis region, 3 to 4 times the rate of white women.
Right.
So it's a big thing.
Right. But hold that thought. I'm sorry. We got to take another break.
The New Life Evangelistic Center website. This is a phenomenal place to learn about all the different programs and services that New Life Evangelistic Center provides. It also is a great place to learn about different events that are coming up and how you can engage with those events. You can either volunteer and grow in the way that you serve homeless men and women, or you can participate in those events and grow in your participation in terms of giving and learning about all the different things that we have going on here at New Life. Another thing you can do through the website is giving either your in-kind goods by knowing where to show up and when to show up, or your gifts online. Those are a huge blessing to our ministry, and we make it as easy as possible for you to partner in that way. Another thing that you can do is download our NLEC TV app and learn about how to do that through our website. You can contact us through our website, and there are lots of different ways that this website is a tool that can help you serve people in our communities. We hope that it benefits you and helps you grow in your faith as you seek to serve and partner with New Life Evangelistic Center in ministering to the homeless men and women in our communities. Thank you, and share with your family and friends.
Welcome back to Conversation with Zaki Baruti. In studio with me is Adolphus Pruitt II, and we're talking about his experience in Kenya, Nairobi, Kenya, particularly at a conference focused around AI.
AI, artificial intelligence.
And on the other side of the break, you were saying about death rates of black women.
So we're talking about how they're using technology, and the young folks in Hack House, well, what came out of there was the fact that by problem solving, so black women dying at a high rate of as a result of being pregnant, and they came up with a program and a wearable device that now these women can wear, and it would let them know when something is going wrong with their bodies so that they can get to the doctor and deal with it to prevent deaths. And it's working. I mean, I think so far I think it was only maybe 9, 10 deaths out of all of the folks that we're wearing it. It is working. It is a piece of technology that now we got exposed to in Kenya, and we're talking to them because now we're trying to bring them back to the U.S. because it's a big problem here.
Right.
I mean, we got our brothers and sisters over there solving a problem that is crucial for black folks over here. So we're working now to bring a hack house, St. Louis.
Okay.
Where it would have a direct connection with Hack House Nairobi, and we would exchange technology, exchange individuals, exchange knowledge base, so that now we have a direct connection with our brothers and sisters over there who are taking the technology and doing things with it that we're not doing here, but to the same degree, take the brothers and sisters who are doing stuff with the technology that they're not doing and take it over there. Because we're saying that, hey, because of technology and internet and FaceTime and all this other stuff, the world is only this big.
I know. In fact, as you were just describing that in my mind, we have to teach our people, like St. Louis to Washington, D. is similar to St. Louis to Nairobi or St. Louis to Lagos, you know.
Yeah.
So it's just a matter, and you have actual transportation with the jets going back and forth. So why is it important for folks to well, let me finish up on the conference, okay? What other aspects of the conference that...
So it was just understanding how they are taking the technology and they're utilizing it to solve problems and to create businesses for their people over there, because they don't have the job infrastructure and the factories and the stuff we have here. And so while tourism is one of their biggest economic drivers, now they're finding a way to use technology to offset that and use it for fintech, and what we call the Square and stuff like, well, they're doing that stuff over there too. And so it's just amazing, and we're going to connect with them, and we're going to establish that connection, and we're going to keep it going, and maybe and really take advantage of it. But one other thing that is, Zaki, as a former educator, they have 3 educational systems. The African one, they have one they inherit from when the British, got to understand, the British colonized Kenya.
Right.
So they had that one left over, and they have the American education system. The one that they use the most and prefer is the American education system, believe it or not. And they even operate under the same calendar year as the American education system. So I thought that was unique.
So what is your time objective for creating the Hack House? Yeah, here.
Listen, we're working on it fast and furious. I hope to have it up and running sometime next year. We are fiercely working. As a matter of fact, we just found out that St. Louis, the World Affairs, they're planning a trade mission from St. Louis to Africa. Nairobi is one of the stops, but there's several stops in Africa in November. So they understand what we understand, that, hey, we got some brothers and sisters over there taking care of business, and we want to do business with them.
Okay, then on that note, we'll have to take our last break.
For years, Zaki Baruti has been an activist in our community, and it's a real privilege of mine to have known Zaki, to be with him on many of the marches, and to continue to see his perseverance. You and I also must know that we can, in the midst of pressure, and yes, there's a lot of pressure on being an activist. It's a thankless job. Many times people don't appreciate it. Many people don't understand you. They ridicule, they reject you. But we have to continue to, in spite of the pressure, to continue to trust God and speak truth to power. That's not easy. It's easy to give in. I think of the nuclear submarine USS Thresher that went down so deep in the 1960s into the ocean. It just exploded or imploded, and the pieces were all over it. 129 men died, but yet there's those fish they discovered later that could continue to swim in the midst of all that pressure that destroyed that submarine. Why? Because there was equal pressure inside that little fish that withstood the rest of it. Now, you and I can experience that power inside of us, and we find it right here in the Word of God. For greater is He who's in us than he that's in the world. Christ, the hope of glory, can come and dwell within us. As we surrender our life to Him, we'll see Him do exceedingly abundantly beyond we can even ask or think. This Bible is just filled with directives, how to overcome pressure. Read the book of 1 Peter, where it says your faith is more precious than gold. see in 2 Peter chapter 1 the promises that are awaiting you at this particular moment there. And continue to look at how the disciples overcame pressure in Acts chapter 5, even counting it all joy, as James chapter 1, verses 2 and 3 tells us, in the midst of pressure. It's right there in the Word of God. I'd encourage you to read the Word of God and let Christ's hope of glory come and dwell within you, because the pressures are becoming more and more intense at this particular time. But truly, you and I can be the activist, more than conquerors through Christ who strengthens us. Continue to persevere, never giving up or giving in, but continue to give it to God, moving forward, experiencing hope and help at this time.
Welcome back to Conversation with Zaki Baruti. We only have a couple more minutes with Brother Adolphus Pruitt in terms of summarizing the trip to Kenya. Why is it important for people of color to put on their agenda to visit Africa?
You know,
and then dispel a lot of people still think parts of Africa is like jungle. You know, I mean,
you know what? Let me tell you.
Go ahead.
In the United States, we got forests. So yes, Africa still has jungle, but they have cities, major advanced cities. Then, unlike, no different. Being in Nairobi was no different than being in St. Louis, Chicago, Washington D.C., any place else. They handle their business. Let me tell you, people moving over there like crazy. And as a matter of fact, not only moving there, but they even buying the land over there and setting up large farms and stuff. So the agriculture side of it is booming. But the best way to put it is this. You know, I was listening to somebody, I forgot who it was. They said, you meet somebody in the U.S. and they said they're Italian. Ask them, where was you born? United States. Where was your parents born? United States. Where was your grandparents born? United States. Where was your great-grandparents born? Oh, in Italy. So they said that I'm Italian because they maintain that connection where they came from.
Right.
Same thing that they said they're from Sweden. Same thing that they say they from the Far East. Folk in this country who have been here, born here, and they're the third, fourth generation, they have no problem making sure that connection stays there. I'm African American because my folks descended from Africa, and I need to know where my folk are, and I need to visit them. I need to understand them, because at the end of the day, if you get there and visit there, you'll find it's no different than me sitting down here talking to you.
Absolutely, absolutely. And then last but not least, we only got 1 to 2 minutes. The importance of why should people off air, I was sharing with you, I'm rather ignorant on chat or all that. Why is it important for folks to update themselves around AI?
So I'm going to tell you that 10 years from now may be too late, but I guarantee you 10 years from now, the vast majority of menial jobs, secretarial jobs, entry-level accountant jobs, menial jobs, AI is going to be doing them. So if you planning on being employed, you want your kids to be employed in the future, they need to understand AI, understand what it does, and understand how to use it. No different than it was that where you had to understand how to use a computer.
Right.
Because right now, if you can't use a computer, you virtually you're unemployable. Mm-hmm. You know, and I don't care what the job is. It involves some form of technology. The same thing is happening now with AI. And so we have to get on board and get our people on board. Don't be afraid of it. We need to conquer it. And our brothers and sisters in Kenya are conquering it.
Okay, then. So on that note, I appreciate you sitting in the chair and discussing everything. And to the audience, like always, I encourage everybody to make sure that we should have 100% voting at the polls for elections. But when you go to the polls, know the issues, as well as join organizations that speaks truth to power and working to uplift humanity. We say join the Universal African Peoples Organization, if not us, NAACP, or many other organizations. On that note, may God bless each and every one of you.